Okay. Says I'm live. So, I've thrown a lot of just wild stuff out there in the last couple weeks that if you're not in the know, it can kind of be kind of all over and haywire. But, or maybe uh, not pertinent or something along those lines. But if you are in the know, and that's going to probably just be a handful of people that are into all of the details of the situation. I mean, all of the details. Most people don't have all of the details. Heather has a few of her details that she thinks she has, and a lot of other people with court documents and private files and stuff know more about like what I'm talking about. But I wanted to kind of just sum it all up, or kind of put all the pieces together in at least some sort of a outline, I guess, that a simpleton can understand. Um, I shouldn't even get back into all the crazy shit that happened with Heather early on, but I'll just say that, where should I start it? I'll just say that Heather has a mentality of that typical quintessential high school dropout who doesn't have any skills or brains, who's literally going to have kids and use the system, for money, like welfare and child support and food stamps and stuff. Like, I mean, she's your quintessential trailer trash, or whatever that everybody wants to pin it on some black woman, like it's some black woman who's like, my baby daddy and all that. But that's Heather. Okay, so she's the quintessential. Oh, what's so funny? Her sister used to say that she was like the that blonde girl from What About Earl, I think it was, or something like that. Earl, the show Earl, like that blonde, just batshit crazy girl. That's Heather. So, so like I said, Heather, drops out of high school, immediately gets married, pregnant, bounces on that guy, stiffs him for child support, screams and cries he's crazy and whatever, and he's just fucking like whipped crazy. Like, what the fuck just happened to me? Like, how it happened to him so fast? He couldn't even fucking. He was bewildered by the whole thing. Jeremy Schulteis, look him up. Talk to his brother Mike, who's a cop, and his mom. They'll just tell you the whole story about how he just got fucking, like, Heather came into his life and told him some thing, sold him on some bullshit, and then tricked him and spun him around and fucking booted him in the ass. And that's the next thing he knew, he had a baby that he couldn't see and was getting sued for child support and, like, having his wages garnished and shit for a kid that he barely knew. And anyway, so then she and I got together. I'm not gonna put any blame there, but she and I got together, and about the time I was starting to figure out her game, I was like, hey, you need to go. And about that time, she was like, oh, whoops, I'm pregnant. Anyway, so I went headlong into that with the whole, like, I'm gonna be a dad. I was like 32 or something, and I was like, man, I'm gonna be a dad. This is serious. I'm gonna be having a child. So I said, this chick's batshit crazy and whatever, but she's 22. She's gonna grow up. She's gonna, wanna better the life of her daughter that she's fucking up, dragging all over the place to one boyfriend's house, to a next boyfriend's house, to a next boyfriend's house. I mean, when I met her and Daisy was 3, I was like, oh, this has got to stop. You can't just drag little babies all over fucking boys' bedrooms and boys' beds and into, having, no, that can't happen. You got to find a dad for her, and you got to stop this bullshit. So, right about the time I was like, and I'm not going to be the dad, so you need to move on. She had stopped taking her pill a little while earlier, because she had figured out the math long before I had, that this wasn't going to work out. So she stopped taking her pill probably right away, or maybe she never had fucking taken a pill. I don't even know. But basically, as soon as she could get pregnant and snag me for number 2, she did. And I think at that point, she kind of anticipated I was going to boot her ass and, pay the child support and fight with her. Actually, I remember her being really nervous that me and AJ were going to team up on her and take Lily away from her. She was scared, terrified that, holy shit, Jeremy could if I could, it was a train wreck in her mind that AJ and I could prove that she's an unfit mother and take Lily right out of the gate. Like, boom, as soon as she has Lily, I'll just take her away from her, because of what she was doing with Jeremy and Daisy. So I didn't want to see anybody's life go to hell in a handbasket, right? So I just mitigated it all, and I was like, look, we can take care of Lily and raise her as a family, and Daisy needs a dad anyway. So if I'm gonna be a dad, what the hell, I'll be a dad, right? I love Daisy, so I was like, Heather was like, I figured we could work on her, right? She was 22 years old, and I'm like, she's 22 years old. By the time she's 30, total mindset, she'll be wiser, she'll be smarter, she'll understand finances and economics and home economics, and she'll be smarter. That was a kind of a hope that I just kept forever, hoping that hopefully she'll wise up, hopefully she'll smarten up, hopefully she'll stop doing this bullshit with defrauding all the banks and defrauding all the government agencies and trying to fuck everybody over for money and fucking Jeremy over, and why is she hating everybody all the time. And her dad was just like, she's always been this way, man. She's always just been really devious and hateful and just conniving and just nasty and spiteful and just dumb, and he has a real hard time maintaining a relationship with her. And her sister's the same way, but they're both just as brain dead, really. So it doesn't matter. But I like to say that Heather got all the bad traits of her parents. She got the arrogance and entitlement of her dad, and that passive aggressive, methodology that he has. He is so non-confrontational, man. He's passive aggressive as fuck. He'll insult the living shit out of you, but oh my god, like if you say something just to his face, like, direct, he's like, what are you doing? You're being so, well, fuck you, Paul. Stop being so fucking demeaning to everybody. Walks around demeaning everybody, pointing out everybody's fucking flaws. Anyway, so she got that from her dad, and then her mom is just dumb as a bag of hammers. Sweetest lady ever, but all she sees is bad negativity. Oh, it's all going down in a handbasket. Paul's gonna die. Blah blah blah. Christy's a crackhead and smoking crack, and all she does is illegal gamble dealing and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, she's just always wigging out about the miserable of what's going on in their family. And she's just dumb too. Says the dumbest things. And everybody just rolls their eyes, right? Like, oh my god, does she even have a brain? Like, this lady is just so dumb. And so Heather got both of those, right? Heather didn't get the sweetness of her mom. If Heather had gotten her dad's intelligence and her mom's sweetness, she would have been a doll, right? But no, she got her dad's arrogance and prickness and her mom's dumbness. So she's this arrogant, entitled dipshit that walks around with no conscience, not even for her own children. Literally just fucks everybody over. Her parents, she's gotten her parents in so fucking deep. I can't even imagine how much money they've spent for this whole fucking nonsense bullshit that she's been putting on everybody for all these years. Oh, that was my whole point of what I was going to try to get to, was that in order to try to raise Lily and raise my kids and raise Daisy and try to wait for Heather to grow up, I dealt with fucking 16 or 17 years of Heather's just fucking bull in a china shop bullshit, costing me hundreds of thousands of dollars and thousands of hours of labor and stupid fucking decisions that her dad was saying, the fuck are you doing? And my dad was saying, what the fuck are you doing? And her mom, everybody was saying, what the fuck are you doing? And my friends, and I lost friends, and I lost anybody with a brain pretty much checked out, because they were like, your wife's fucking stupid, and why are you going along with this shit? Why are you letting her rule the roost? They didn't understand it. Everybody, my buddy AJ, a divorce lawyer, get the fuck out while you can, dude. Why you keep having kids with this dumb bitch? What the fuck? Can't you see she's fucking you over? Like, everybody was like, what the fuck's going on? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out who she is and who I am and what she's up to. Meet our kids and see everything. You realize, oh, these kids are great. They're being raised by, a dad who loves them and all this shit. And mom's buying shit on the internet and fucking running game as if she's some sort of a hippie mommy when it's all fucking bullshit. Anyway, so we're doing the best we can. Me and Heather hating each other and trying to raise kids, and me doing whatever the fuck she tells me to do under the threat of she's going to divorce me and wreck my life and take my kids away if I don't. And everybody knows that. That's not even a secret. I mean, it was just kind of knowledge, right? Like, her parents know it, my parents know it, my friends know it. Everybody fucking knows, because when the question kept coming up, why do you keep having more kids? See, because after she duped me with Lily and Iris, I got a vasectomy. I was like, okay, no more duping. Jeremy got duped and I got duped twice. No more duping. So I got a vasectomy. And then after about 18 months, it came to, you have to get a vasectomy reversal or I'm not going to be happy. And I'm like, well, you're just going to have to not be happy, because we got 3 kids that I'm raising right now. And we're done. That's all we need, 3 kids. And her dad agreed. Yep, no, that's all you need, 3 kids. Her mom, I think everybody agreed. Everybody agreed. Like, you got 3. That's plenty, man. 3 little girls are beautiful. Daisy, Lily, Iris. Wrap it up. You're done. Against everyone's better judgment, Heather said, okay, here's the fucking deal, bro. I'm going to have more kids. With or without you. So here's the choice. You can either get a vasectomy reversal, which you have to pay cash for. You have to find somebody who's going to do it and pay cash, earn the money and save the money and pay the money cash to have a vasectomy reversal so that I can have more children. It wasn't, I was like, no, we don't need more children. So anyway, I made the decision, right? I said, yes, okay, I'm going to do this. So this was my options, though. Heather said either A, you'll go get a vasectomy reversal and have more kids until I just decide we're done. Or I'm going to take Daisy, Lily, and Iris, and since you are the breadwinner and you make all the money and I don't work and I can't pay bills, I'm going to run off with them. And I'm going to have them like 90% of the time, and you're going to work your ass off to pay all the fucking bills. Because that's how I've set this up. Oh, and by the way, I've already called the police on you a few times, so you may have noticed, over stupid shit that was normal bullshit that people deal with, only I used it as an opportunity to call the police and have a police report written. See, she got the ball rolling on this shit so much earlier than I was like, what the fuck are you doing calling the police? It was so stupid, She calls the police. I'm like, police? My friends are like, police? Because, most normal couples and shit don't just fucking, every time there's an argument or every time there's a dispute over, like, John says I can't spend $1,000 on yarn, so I'm going to call the fucking police. It's stupid, the shit that she does. The police reports and whatnot that have been filed and the bullshit that she has sold people about. Just everybody. Look at, fucking police reports from way the fuck back. Anyway, but this was all just our backup plan, right? Like, well, if he ever decides that he's going to tell me no, I'm just going to fucking light up the backup plan, which is fuck you over and you pay the bill. Anyway, so I said, okay, fine, let's just have more kids. This is eventually going to work itself out one way or the other. So we had a vasectomy reversal and then had 4 more kids, right? Pilot, Utah, Ben, and Eleanor. Anyway, so I'm 12 minutes in already, but here's the point of where I'm getting at. After Ben was born, there was kind of a crossroads because Ben was born. It was not the easiest birth. After a couple weeks, everything seemed to be going normal at home. He came home and he was the 6th, and we were like, okay, we know this was just just the drill. So, after a couple weeks, Ben, wasn't responding normally, and, Heather picked up on that, so she brought it to my attention, and we immediately ran Ben off to the ER, and he was then emergency transported to Children's Hospital. And then Heather and I were notified that, he was having sustaining brain injury and whatnot from an infection that he had cerebral palsy or had encephalitis and meningitis. And the long-term, prognosis was, well, first off, they were like, well, yeah, 87% chance he's just going to die. 13% chance he lives, and if he lives, he's going to be somewhere between like a vegetable and one of these kids that you see drooling in a wheelchair. So it puts you in a really precarious position, when you try to start thinking about, I don't want to be one of those people that dances with snakes and lets rattlesnakes bite my kids and shit. But when all the doctors are telling you, like, hey man, just up until a few years ago, we couldn't even save kids like this. Like, they just all died because their life is, even if they live, it's just not going to be real normal. You don't even know. We can't even tell you. That was the thing. We would tell you, like, well, tell us what it's going to be like. And they're like, nobody knows, bro. Like, there's such a range, the spectrum. Like, the brain's so complex. Like, nobody really knows. And a lot of thoughts go into that kind of stuff. You're like, oh my God, so this is going to be a kid who's going to require 24-hour day attention, all kinds of special attention, therapies, doctor's appointments. You have to basically become like a doctor or a nurse to be able to like give them injections and whatever. Like, we managed it, but it's not the kind of thing that you just jump into gladly, like, oh yay, hooray, let's do it. No, like, it was daunting. We already had 5 kids. We were living off grid in the middle of nowhere and didn't have access to anything. We were an hour and 40 minutes from anything. And all of a sudden I've got this kid that has all these, is potentially going to have all of these issues that have to be tended to. And I'm looking at how thin we are already. I mean, Heather and I, think about it. Think about Heather and I living off grid and already had 5 at her insistence. This is the 6th one at her insistence. And now they're telling me that this thing is going to require more attention than probably all the other 5 kids combined, if he lives. At that point, I kind of think to myself, maybe you're supposed to just let nature run its course and not plug him into all the hoses and pipes and electrodes and everything and save his life. Maybe maybe 99.99999999999% of all these kids that have ever been born since the dawn of time died because that's just the way nature intended it. I don't know. That's a real hard fucking question to ask when you're a parent. So, uh, in a way, luckily, I was let off the hook in a way. Because here's the way it went down. When I even presented that to Heather, she said, don't even talk to me about that shit, or I'll call DHS, and have them question your parental insanity and just have all the kids taken away from you. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just saying, hypothetically, like, this is a conversation that maybe we should have. You and I, and maybe some, your parents and grandparents and the other kids, and maybe whether or not we should have a kid plugged into all this shit. People make that decision at the end of people's lives, right? Like, how long are you going to keep somebody on this shit and subject them to this? And I was looking at it at the front end, like, you're about to put someone on the hook for the unknown. I wasn't even saying it's all going to be bad, because I don't know. The doctors are telling you we don't know. But it's not going to be normal. They're telling you right off the bat. Because I was like optimistic. It was like, no, brain can regrow, this and that. I'm an engineer. We can make this happen. And they're looking at me and they were saying, bro, if you think you're going to fix this one, you're delusional. You're not. That was hard to accept for me because I'm the guy who fixes everything. So I said, all right, I'm going to work on this. I'm not going to give up. But I understand it's going to be long time consuming and going to require a lot of thought and a lot of effort. I'm basically going to have to focus every bit of effort, brain power that I have if I'm going to try to fix him, right? Yeah, but you won't be able to. Okay, but I'll fail, but maybe I'll make some progress. Whatever, dude. Okay, so anyway, then I was concerned about the bills, right? Who's going to pay the $1 million a year to do all the therapy and health care and everything that he's going to need? And so that's when they say, well, you've got 5 kids, 6 kids, government programs, Medicaid and whatnot. You're not going to pay $1 million a year. You're not going to have to try to earn $1 million a year. The government's essentially going to take care of this because of your, situation. You're a sole breadwinner and you already have 6 kids. So I said, okay, thanks. At least I don't have to stress that out. Because I mean, do you have any idea the terror when you think about the financials of trying to take care of your wife and the 5 kids you already have? She's telling you have to have another kid, and you're going, where the fuck? And everyone, your dad's going, what the fuck are you doing, man? Are you gonna just work till the end of time and be broke forever, working to raise all these children? Like, most people were really questioning, what are you doing? And then when we said, oh yes, now we got one that's cerebral palsy, everybody was like, whoa. Tim Ellis. I spent the weekend with Tim Ellis last weekend, and we kind of reminisced on this whole thing, and Tim Ellis was like, I remember that, and he's like, I just couldn't even fucking fathom what your head must have been going through your head at that time. And this is the kind of stuff that was going through my head at the time. But anyway, in 2014, later that year, shit hit the fan with the cops and Mike Brown, New York City cops with Eric Garner, and Baltimore with Freddie Gray, and lots of 12-year-old kids getting shot by cops and cops killing people, and just really, really nasty shit. And I was in a state of mind at that time where I was pretty furious, really. If you want to just put a term on it, I was pretty fucking furious at everything. Furious at the system, furious at what I was seeing on TV, furious of just the insanity and stupidity of our world. And here I've got this son that they're saying has got this major fucking problem, that we have all this crazy science and shit to work, whatever, but we're doing dumb shit, basically, is what happened. I guess my threshold for dumb shit and crookedness and corruption and whatnot went right out the fucking window. Because originally I think I was okay with it. Originally I think I'm on this hill, I don't give a fuck, they can burn the whole fucking world down. I got some spring water, I got trees and fruit trees and nuts and garden and ammunition till the cows come home, and gas stored, generator, and fuck, like I was self-sufficient. I didn't give a fuck, man. And so now I've got this kid that's reliant on the system, and the system's fucked up. And I didn't even want, I was debating whether or not we should have the kid at all. And the system, being now, especially when you're hooked on the system, and now I got the system up my fucking ass and Heather's loving it. So I took the side of the people who I decided were right, who were the protesters that were bucking the system. The people in Ferguson, the people in New York, the people in Cleveland, the people in Cincinnati, the people in Chicago, the people in Ferguson, the people all over the fucking place. I got to know everybody that was bucking the system. I drove all over the fucking place doing trooper stuff, and I had video cameras and doing all my trooper videos, and I was doing all kinds of protests and meeting with protesters and interviewing protesters and making videos of protesters and videoing protests, and I got in it deep because I wanted to see real change, because I don't have time for fuckery, because I got a kid that needs attention. All the resources and shit has to change direction, and all the efficiency, the inefficiency of government and government programs and shit needs to get straightened the fuck up. And we've got the tech to do it, okay? Because I used to work in California in tech, and I happily jumped out of it all to a degree, lived out there on the mountain, but at the point where I have to look and watch bureaucratic fuckery, you know, and what I need to do is get my kid fixed, and I need to get past all this bullshit. So, trying to explain this to Heather is like, she counts on her fingers. She has to hold her fingers up like this to determine which way to turn left and right. You know? She can't think 10 minutes into the future, much less 10 years. So, that was like talking to a brick wall. Trying to explain to her that what I'm doing is for the betterment of our country, of our world, and for our children and grandchildren. Look, if I'm not out there delivering packages at $22 an hour to put money on her credit card so she can buy fucking yarn, she's not interested. So all the shit that I did, that I invested my time in while I was out there on that mountain, learning about troopers and re-engineering them and redesigning them, and out doing protests with Black Lives Matter and shit, doing secret ops with Anonymous. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you buying all those dumb, rusty trucks? Because she's dumb. Because she's stupid. She demonized me and filed police reports, and cops would love to fucking wrangle me up. No problem. Oh, that dude who drove all those anonymous ghosted spooks around Ferguson and that burgundy trooper. Yeah, we would love to forge a fucking protective order and get our hands on that motherfucker, which they did. Washington County sheriffs multiple times. You know, when I went down, it just happened across the square, Sea Island Hill, and I jumped out to talk to him about it. And I lost my temper and smashed a window, like any probably husband whose wife is fucking him over with the guy at Terra Tots, and she's got a big old belly like this, and you're wondering, I wonder if that's my kid or his kid, you know? And so I pull over because I see him walking along, and I think, you know, maybe I should just talk to this guy. And he runs off and, you know, locks himself in the store and fucking drops his lunch and pulls his gun out and calls 911 and freaks the fuck out because I'm standing there like in a t-shirt and jeans, like, come out here, bitch. And so anyway, just to drive the point home about what a complete fucking bitch that guy is, I picked up the chalkboard sign and threw it through his fucking window, so he ran off with a gun in his hand and 911 in the other, and me standing there. Bitch ass fucking Alan Hill ran off and locked himself in the bathroom while he was on 911. Bitch. So I'm sure you heard the story, right? That Heather, he decided to stop selling Heather's shoes, and so I came down there to freak out on him for no reason because I'm a lunatic. So I hopped in the car and just said, okay, he ran off, he's a bitch, so I'm gonna go home. So I jumped in my Audi S4, put it in gear, and moseyed around the square. I was on my way home, and a Fayetteville cop lit me up, pulled me over right in front of the federal building, and then said, oh, put the keys on the roof, put your hands out, get out of the car, step this way, do that, turn around, put the cuffs on you, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, did you say something about bombing the federal building? I was like, what? I said, I don't even know this is the federal building. I said, last time I was here poking around town, this was a big hole in the ground. They were doing some real estate development back around 2007 or 8, right when the real estate collapse was happening or whatever. I said, is that what this is, a federal building? That got a bomb squad called, and it got the FBI, the marshal, everybody but the Washington County Sheriff, incidentally. I was like, hey, where's the sheriff? Everybody's fucking here, all the way down from, I mean, every fucking body. Homeland Security, FBI, marshals, every fucking body. But the sheriff. Oh, sorry. Everybody but the sheriff. Oh, but I got to see the sheriff soon enough, because after they roughed me up in the Fayetteville Police Department, which you can watch the videos of that because they have the whole thing videoed. That was the video. From their side, they'll tell you like, oh, that's when he got belligerent and started talking about smearing shit on the walls. Yeah, after they had locked me in an interrogation room for like an hour and a half with the heat turned up to 90, and they had an empty cup of water that they kept saying, hey, you want me to fill that cup of water for you? I was like, fuck you, bro. I just stripped down to my underwear because I'm all right in a sauna. I'll sit in a fucking sauna all day in my underwear. You know, cops are fucking stupid, man. I'm not going to play their game. I'm not going to sweat, oh, give me some water, please. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'll go 10 days without water. So I sat there in my underwear, kicked back, while they're waiting to sweat me out. And I'm like, fuck you guys, man. So I was like, hey, I got to pee. Oh, and that didn't do it. So I was like, hey, okay, so here's the deal. This is how I got myself out of the fucking interrogation room and fucking harassing me for a fucking bomb threat that I didn't fucking do. I said, all right, here's the deal. Not only do I have to pee, but now I got to shit real hard. And I had wings and fucking Guinness last night. You can watch the video. I said, if you guys don't get me out of here, I'm going to shit wings and Guinness. And I'm going to smear it all over these fucking soundproof walls you guys got. And what do you know? Boom. 10 seconds later, I was out of there. So they didn't like the way I got out of there. So the big blonde cop that remembers me and I remember him, why are you being so aggressive? Because I was being fucking kidnapped and thrown in fucking jail, you know, beat the fuck up and everything. And I'm like, he wants to know, why am I being aggressive? As he's putting cuffs on me and fucking throwing my face against the wall. I'm like, why am I being aggressive? Because you're a punk ass motherfucking bitch, that's why. So, oh, and then the dickhead detective, what was his name? Can't remember. Oh, it'll come to me. Grabs me and fucking beats me up a little bit while he puts me in the back of the car. Oh, I'm just helping you make sure your head doesn't hit the thing, but bonk, you know, that shit. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm so fucking tough. You can just bounce. I'll bounce my own self off the fucking walls, dude. You think you're gonna fucking hurt my feelings because you like hit me a little bit or twist my arm or push something in me? Oh, you push my arm. I don't give a fuck, dude. Put a knee on my throat. You think you're the only person that ever put a fucking knee on my throat? Anyway, so I just take their bullshit because I'm like, you know how much this is gonna cost you guys? Millions. You stupid motherfuckers are dumb ass, bitch ass pigs, and it's gonna cost you millions when I file my lawsuit. So I just sound like, all right, you're dumb. Just do your fucking work. Do your cop work, dipshits. So, you know, they fucking harassed me. I told you that I've got, there's other videos about this I've made behind this video about the protective order that they didn't serve, that they fucking had me extradited on, and the shit that went down on Florida about the cop that wouldn't shake my hand, that they threw me in fucking all the jail, and bitch whole shit went on with that. But, you know, when you're a protester and you're protesting the fucking cops, and you're talking about prosecutors need to be fucking strung up, judges need to be strung up, and cops need to be strung up and shit like that, you're not popular with the judicial system and law enforcement. If you come across their radar and your bitch wife is selling them bullshit to pistol whip you, they're happy to get involved. Okay, man, we'll take care of it. And they did. They took care of me hard several times per her request. So that's what I'm trying to just bring you up to speed about what's been going on here, right? So I've been trying to be a protester trying to save the world, and my greedy bitch wife who spends $1,000 a month on yarn is using the fact that cops don't like me to pistol whip me and fuck me over. I'm a good dad and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. That's the irony here. Everybody knows it. I raised her daughter, Daisy. And Daisy, you know, grew up to be Dora the Explorer and fucking ran off to Peru and spent a year down there speaking Espanol, you know, and became an artist with a guy named Octavio Logo, who's a real, you know, badass Mexican artist and shit. Oh, by the way, I'm an artist. You know, I went to college on an art scholarship because I went to college. I didn't drop out of high school after 3 years. Anyway, so Daisy followed in my footsteps and became educated, intelligent, learned to speak Spanish, became Daisy the Explorer, and is now an art student, I hear. I don't know, because she won't talk to me. Because she took Heather's side. So, yeah. So Daisy's taken Heather's side of the mom who fucked her over and, you know, stripped her of her real father, and then now stripped her of me, her adopted dad, the one who took her down to the courthouse and had her name changed per her request when she turned 18, and then put her on a plane to Peru and gave her a hug and kiss and said, you know, you're killing it. Like, you're ready to go. Like, go kill the world. You don't owe anybody anything. And, you know, and then here's the thing, man. This is how fucking vicious Heather is. So I raised Daisy for her all the way to 18. 2 days before Daisy takes off, she wrecks my trooper and I foot the bill, you know. It's craziness. Like, if you look at how fucking deep I went to take care of Daisy and Heather and then what they've done to me, it's just bewildering, man. So Daisy wrecks my silver trooper 2 days before, puts it on my insurance. It's okay. I take care of her, my truck and the truck that she hit. Put her on a plane, give her a hug and kiss, tell her, take off, go do your thing. As I'm driving back from the airport. Wheels are probably just barely off the ground. Wheels are off the ground. Heather says, hey, thanks for raising Daisy and all. I'm divorcing you. Fucking you over. And all that shit you've been doing with the protesters and everything, I'm turning it over to the cops. And you're fucked. Everybody hates you. The judges hate you. The prosecutors hate you. The cops hate you. The sheriffs hate you. All my friends, Alan Hill, everybody hates you. So you're fucked. So she just fucked me, right? Anyway, so here we are now. She's been using protective orders that, you know, judges have no problem signing. They're total bullshit. She got judges and cops on her side doing this, you know. She's got cops. Washington County sheriffs are literally, you know, standing on order between me and my kids and her. And Washington County judges have no problem just signing orders. Anything you need, Mrs. Fisher. Yep. You want to fuck that guy over? We'll sign it. No problem. Here you go. We'll just signature right on it. No problem. Stamp it. We don't need to read. We don't need to investigate. Nah, don't worry about it. We're not going to send anybody out and look into it at all. Nah. You know, talk to Child Protective Services. Maybe we need to talk to the kids. Nah. We'll just skip all that. It's okay. No, we know this guy. No, we know who he is. We're aware. We can just fuck him over. Yeah, it's already they've just got a fuck over John clause written right into the Washington County Municipal Code. If anything comes up against John Scharnhorst, he automatically loses. No, it's just they changed the law. One of the judges, I think it was Story. I think it was Story, or it could have been what's the other guy that does all the realtor stuff there? The one that they try to recommend all the time. A realtor thing needs to get done. The name's not coming to me. Starts with the L. Lindsay. There it is. Lindsay. One of those guys. Or maybe it was William Story's daughter. I can't remember who it was. Somebody went and basically just changed the law in Washington County, Arkansas, and said that anything that Heather says is gold, anything that John says is bullshit, if you can figure out a way to throw cuffs on John and beat the shit out of him and throw him in jail, do that, because that's protocol. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. That's basically what's going on here. My kids are reaching out to me screaming and crying. What the fuck's going on, Dad? How come we can't see you? Heather's running game, kidnapping my kids, using the fact that the people like Tom Cotton and, you know, people like that are more than happy to fuck me over. Yeah, no problem. Like, who? What? No, John Scharner? Yeah, fuck him over. That guy. That dude who was helping the protesters in Baltimore over the Freddie Gray murder, fuck that guy over hard. The guy who was filming in Ferguson with Anonymous, that was in the Anonymous secret headquarters there, you know, running those dudes all over fucking town in the middle of the night, doing shit in Ferguson inside the wire. Fuck that guy over hard.
That guy who was standing out there in front of the Ferguson Police Department in the middle of the night in the freezing rain, screaming and hollering, fuck the police, Black Lives Matter, and don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot, and all that bullshit that we were screaming at you motherfuckers from across the street, the Ferguson Police Department. They're like, yeah, it's okay to fuck him over. Oh, by the way, that was all KKK, by the way. Because I lived out there in Arkansas, close to Harrison, between like Kingston and Harrison, or Compton area, if you want to find it on a map, Compton area. It's amazing how news travels between networks of people like white supremacists and KKK. If you find yourself being a humanitarian living on top of a mountain trying to save the world, and you discover that you're in KKK land, and KKK's running the fucking police department in Ferguson, and you're up there protesting in Ferguson, driving around a trooper with a license plate registered back to Newton County, Arkansas, shit gets really sticky. You know, all of a sudden your neighbors start looking at you like, yeah. So if your ex-wife decides that she wants to fuck you over and take everything you've got and fuck you over with the kids and everything, it becomes really easy, because everybody else, all the neighbors in the KKK and all the KKK cops and all the KKK judges, they all want to fuck you over too. So Heather jumped in with a bunch of white supremacist KKK people in about 2015. Christmas 2014, I think, is when she made her mind up. She went down to her parents. It was right after Ferguson, and then the cops had been killed in New York City. She was in Christmas. She was down with her parents in Austin, unwrapping, you know, $10,000 worth of fucking Kmart plastic bullshit like they do every year. And I was keeping the house warm on the mountain out there. And she decided, I'm gonna fuck him over, because all that shit he's doing with the cops would probably carry a lot of weight. All that shit he's doing, like exposing police and protesting against cops and stuff, probably they're not gonna like that, and he's gonna lose. That's what it was. Here's what happened. In a nutshell. In a nutshell, this is why I started this video. Heather said to herself in 2015, oh shit, John's going up against the cops and shit. Okay, now's the time. He's gonna lose. I'm going to jump on board with all the cops and all the Republicans, and I'm going to fuck him over for everything he's got, because he just fucked up by going to war with the cops. That's what happened. She goes, oh, look, opportunity. There it is. John just went to war with the cops, so my enemy's enemy is my friend. I'm going to jump in hard with the cops, because that's what she loves to do anyway. Get in with the cops and lawyers, fuck you over. That's what she did. She gambled wrong. She said black lives don't matter and cops are right. Judges don't pay attention, they just shuffle paperwork. This is how the system works. You're delusional if you think you're going to change the world and fix cops and fix judges and fix the system and fix our son. You're wrong and you're crazy, is what she said. You're wrong and you're crazy, and I'm going to put it all in declaration, sign my name to it and swear to it under oath, and then stamp it and file it at the county courthouse. And I thought, you're a fucking moron. Go ahead. So if you dig through all the paperwork over the last 5 or 6 years, that's what you're going to find. You're going to find Heather trying to fuck me over using the system with the presumption that me being a protester against the cops and judges and politicians was going to be a winning move for her. See where this is now? Now we're down to 2 days. No, tomorrow's the closing. So she's been hamstringing me and fucking me over on this property, refusing to let me sell my property, trying to fuck me over on every fucking angle, including kidnapping my kids. That's what it all boils down to. At the end of the day, she's kidnapping my children. I got 6 kids out there that want to see me and want to spend time with me, and I want to spend time with them. And they don't give a shit about any of this bullshit, man. They like playing with Tonka trucks and riding bikes and fishing and doing shit that nobody fucking cares about Heather and her bullshit, man. Nobody gives a fuck, Heather. The judges don't fucking care. The cops don't fucking care. Sean Fisher doesn't fucking care. He just wants to bang you. Nobody cares. The only person who cares is me because they're my kids. Stop being fucking stupid. It's that simple. Everybody fucking hates you now. The judges hate you. The cops hate you. The politicians hate you. Your husband hates you. Your husband's family fucking hates you. Our kids fucking hate you. Having to be one of those kids, you don't win an argument with Heather. She's not wrong. She doesn't say, okay, sorry, you're right. No, she's right. Shut up. She's a tyrant, you know? The kids live under this tyranny. I lived under it. Literally, a tyranny of you will do what I say or I will wreck your life. That's how she just operates with everybody. Fine, I'll war with you. I don't like it, but I'm tough. I'm tough as nails, man. But you're fucking with the kids. Seriously, man. You seriously gonna quiz those kids and they're like, nah, we don't want to be around dad. He's an asshole. The fuck out of here. That's the end of my statement right there. Any statement you've ever made that I'm a danger to the safety and well-beings of the kids is a lie, bullshit, fraud. And any statement you've ever said that I was dangerous to you is just your fucking paranoia over what you've got coming, over what you're owed. It's just the karma that you've sown. It's not me at all. It's just you're fucking paranoid because you know the karma that you've sown. And I don't even want to, and I'm trying so fucking hard not to be the instrument of it because it's not my deal. I got other shit to do. I got kids to play with, and I got troopers to work on, and friends to hang out with, and I don't even fucking care about you. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem right there. Just sign the fucking paperwork and go away.